Dear viewers, hello and welcome to the RWS 2022 live stream, live from IWA 2022 here in Nuremberg, Germany. Today I got Andreas from RWS with me. Andreas, thank you for your time.
Thanks for joining. Perfect.
Before we kick off the show, where we are going to talk about RWS, the brand itself, different forms of hunting, specialized ammunition, and personal experience, I'd like to kick off the show by asking you, how does it feel to be finally back at IWA 2022?
It's really amazing.
It is.
It is amazing. Since 2 years, no business. Right now we are back in the game here to see all our partners. We have the same people there with the same passion. It's really cool.
And even through all that's going on in the world, people tend to be really positive and happy to be back on the ground here.
It is really.
So for those viewers, the few among them who do not know about the RW brand itself, please give us a rundown. What does RWS actually stand for?
I think RWS is well known in the market. We are brand since founded 1886, so we have the passion and the fiddlering and the innovation since over 130 years. And as I said, the brand is well known, but really the brand stands for premium, for performance. We have some core value like uncompromising, so we'll not do anything special what is not related to our core value. That means we have a reliable bullet, it's really accurate, and the most thing we are striving for is effective, and then we will talk also later about it.
So with this out of the way, I believe also that RWS is amongst the brands of choice for hunters all throughout the field of hunting. And actually, I wanted to pick you up on the topic hunting itself, because as we all know, there are different forms of hunting, with hunting maybe being one of the oldest professions throughout mankind.
Should be, yeah. And as we are talking right now, or at that stage for driven hunt, so driven hunt is one of the hunting you can do, is mostly exciting and mostly demanding, I would say.
The driven hunt, as you can hunt by yourself, but also you can hunt with many, so this actually catapults the driven hunt into the tier 1 forms of hunting, which is actually not only hunting, but also a socializing event.
It is, because mostly on still hunt you are alone, you take your own duty, but on driven hunt you have this social aspect. You're together with other hunters, you're sharing the same passion, you're talking about the stuff, about the equipment, also about the ammunition, how it performs at the beginning, and then at the driven hunt your adrenaline is going up, and each situation is quite different.
Actually, you were talking about adrenaline, so I might assume as the game is actually scared up to run through, for example, the forest, it's not only the game itself, the animals who are high on adrenaline, but it's also the hunters, because you are positioned at your spot. You can hear the game coming, approaching. You can feel at least with me, the hair on your neck going up. So you're constantly in the position. Is it going to come? Is it going to come? Is it going to come? Then it finally comes. So then, of course, you want to stick to ammunition that actually backs you up. But before that, I want to go into, with hunting being, driven hunting being such a special form of hunting, it comes with different challenges. Social challenges, challenges for the hunting itself, environmental challenges. Tell us something about that.
Yeah, about the environment, this is always different. Yeah, you have a landscape you don't know, you have a different kind of stand you don't know, and what is also really important, you have to take care about safety. Yeah, because there's a lot of other shooters around, so you have to place shots 50, 20, 100 meters. But 200 meters, this is not possible, because sometimes you have the horizon, you don't know who is beyond the horizon. So driven hunt is also something for the hunter. Yes, adrenaline is there, but you have also be really place a safe shot and do some safety things. This is really important.
So with safety being the main issue while handling firearms in general and also hunting, so I believe you could say that the driven hunt is not only a very unique social experience, it's also a very challenging experience. And with these challenges that you have mentioned, I'd like to introduce the viewers and of course address you, that you guys actually took up the challenge to find the perfect cartridge that actually lives up to the expectations and to the challenges for the hunter who is within the state of mind of adrenaline, where he has to count for safety, but also to hunt probably the right way.
Yes, and thanks for that. And for especially today and also before, we have invented a product. It's called right now RWS Driven Hunt Bullet. And Driven Hunt Bullet means not only a word, so it's really developed and invented for this kind of hunt. I can tell you a little bit about the products more in detail, then it will really make sense. You can see it in front. What we have done for this bullet, we have really a flat nose. That means you have a really fast expansion, because if you have faster shots or shots with a shorter distance, so you need really a fast expansion.
Exactly. You have to get all the power into the animal for maximum effect, right?
Yes, and the expansion also should be really fast. Therefore, inside we have a really broad hollow point inside. That means you have first the initial shock and also the deep penetration. It's amazing.
Picking up penetration, it feels like that you guys had to make the choice between knockdown power, but also when we talk about penetration, we are talking about blood trail.
Yes.
So as these two things seem to be, for me, on the opposite spectrum of the things, you guys actually managed to find out a way to achieve both. How did you do that?
And that's the amazing product we have done, and we call it in our performance line. This Driven Hunt is unique, because we have solved an initial shock, also the deep penetration, and we also secure an exit wound. So in the portfolio you can find a lot of product. They have one or two assets of that. But with these bullets, we have all of three. So that gives you really that success you have to need, that you're really confident on your stand that this bullet works. From 0 to 150, it works amazing, perfectly.
So it has been built up for knockdown power, for exit wound, full blood trail. But also I want to talk about the environmental aspect of the things. Or basically what I want to get into right now is the yield of meat. Because as we know, animals, they are a precious source of meat, so we don't want to waste any. How did you guys approach that topic?
And this is a good advantage about this bullet, because it's mass stable. So inside the penetration, you have this mushrooming, you have these veins killing the vital organs, and then you have the safe exit wounds. So if you cut off and you look inside, you have no fragments, you have a clear wound channel, and that comes to that you have really less wasted meat. So incredible.
So this actually sounds really incredible, and I want to get a bit more into how you guys actually achieve that. Because when we were talking earlier, before we started recording this, or live showing this rather, you told me you actually gathered a lot of experience with this cartridge yourself. Please go into this.
Yeah, so that means we have over 130 years of experience, and we have a huge portfolio what we are producing. Mostly we have fragmenting bullets. Yes, you have a good knockdown power. You have this initial shock, what it really makes sense, also exit wound. Or we have bullets with a deep penetration for bigger game. So always it depends on your hunting situation. But we have never had a bullet is really especially for driven hunt.
So what's your personal experience with the bullet?
The personal experience, I was lucky to test the product last year in November in East Germany on a driven hunt, and this is really a true story. I was there sitting, and as we said, you have this adrenaline, you hear the dogs around, and then you hear the bushes, but at this...
It's adrenaline in the air.
It is, and then you hear the dogs barking, and then you're waiting there. But then sometimes happens like this. There were a boar sneaking around and tried to disappear on the right side. And it's going to my stand 10 meters. So I saw them pick up the rifle, bam, and really the exit wound was there. The blood trail was, I don't know, 5 meters, but huge of blood. And the boar was in the bushes. So this was my first experience. It was amazing.
So you were convinced right off the bat. Is this something that is uniquely to your experience when it comes to the RWS? or is it actually a common choice that you guys at RWS, you gain and gather experience with what you develop firsthand?
Yes, and I can tell you, this is not a long-range bullet, okay? We are not talking about long-range, we're talking about driven hunt. If you go to driven hunt, the purpose is driven hunt. And if you use this bullet, this gives you the success.
Andreas, thank you so much for your time here live at IWA 2022. I know you're busy, so I'm going to release you. And for all you viewers who are interested now in the RWS brand, in the Driven Hunt cartridge, and the other new product that you guys are going to launch, then I suggest you keep staying on this channel because we've got something for you right now. Andreas, thank you so much for your time.
Was a pleasure. Thanks.